world before the flood, as described in various ancient texts and mythologies, was a place of unparalleled beauty and abundance. The earth was lush and fertile, teeming with life and natural wonders. It was a time when humanity lived in harmony with nature, enjoying the bounties of the land. The environment was pristine and the weather was gentle, providing an ideal setting for human civilization to flourish. Despite this idyllic setting, human beings began to succumb to corruption and evil. Greed, violence, and moral decay spread across the land. People turned away from virtuous living and instead pursued selfish desires, causing widespread suffering and injustice. This moral decline did not go unnoticed by the divine, and it was said that humanity's wickedness grieved the heart of God. The world became a place of chaos and strife, with righteousness becoming increasingly rare. In response to the pervasive evil, a great flood was sent to cleanse the earth of its corruption. According to the biblical account, Noah, a righteous man, was instructed to build an ark to save himself, his family, and pairs of every kind of animal. The floodwaters came and covered the earth, destroying all life that was not aboard the ark. This cataclysmic event marked the end of the corrupt world and the beginning of a new, cleansed era. Today, some believe that the world bears striking resemblances to the time of Noah. Environmental degradation, social injustices, and widespread immorality are seen as signs of a return to the conditions that preceded the flood, while society grapples with issues such as inequality, violence, and moral confusion. These parallels serve as a cautionary reminder of the consequences of turning away from ethical principles and failing to care for the earth and each other. The Guadalupe skeleton, the Guadalupe woman, is a well-authenticated discovery which has been in the British Museum for over half a century. In 1812, on the coast of the French Caribbean island of Guadeloupe, a fully human skeleton was found, complete in every respect except for the feet and head. It belonged to a woman about 5 foot 2 inches tall. What makes it of great significance is the fact that this skeleton was found inside extremely hard, very old limestone, which was part of a formation more than a mile in length. Modern geological dating places this formation at 28 million years old, which is 25 million years before modern man is supposed to have first appeared on Earth, according to evolutionists. Since such a date for a regular person does not fit evolutionary theory, you will not find Guadalupe woman mentioned in the hominid textbooks. To do so would be to disprove evolutionary dating of rock formations. Would this have been a victim of the flood just 4,500 years ago, considering we know the Earth isn't millions of years old? Some critics of this wood wagon wheel in this Ukrainian coal mine ceiling state it's a large fossil sand dollar, or it's a wood wagon wheel 3,000 FT underground. The creationist perspective solves this enigma. It is a pre-flood wheel that got buried in the global flood of Noah 4,400 years ago. Trail of hominid footprints fossilized in volcanic ash. This 70-meter trail was found by Mary Leakey's expedition at Lake Toli, Tanzania in 1978. It dates from 3.6 million years, shows that hominids had acquired the upright, bipedal, free-striding gait of modern man by this date. The trail probably belongs to Australopithecus afarensis, dates from 3.7 to 3.0 million years ago, according to evolutionists. The footprints show a well-developed arch to the foot, no divergence of the big toe. They are of 2 adults, with possibly a 3rd set belonging to a child who walked in the footsteps of one of the adults. Over 4,000 footprints have been discovered, suggesting a scene of people running in what seems to be a pre-flood world. This snapshot captures the frantic escape from massive waves approaching, offering a glimpse into a moment of sheer urgency and survival. The evidence appears obvious that these 10 men, women, and children were buried rapidly by some catastrophe, like a flood. Articulated skeletons indicate rapid burial. Some propose to explain these bones by arguing that they were mining when the mine collapsed. However, there is no indication of tunnels, and women and small children would not likely be included in a mining operation. Additionally, no tools have been found, and there are no crushed bones, which would be expected if the mine caved in. Another invalid explanation is that this is a mass grave and they were buried. This cannot be true because the living would have to dig a grave 5,100 feet deep through extremely hard sandstone layers. The modern mining operation was halted in the 1970s because the sandstone was so hard it was destroying the bulldozers. These humans appear to have been buried by the same catastrophe that buried dinosaurs in this continent-spanning formation. Humans and dinosaurs must have lived at the same time. According to the World Coal Association, the process responsible for the formation of coal began 360 to 290 million years ago. With this in mind, it would seem absolutely impossible for any human artifacts to be found within this ancient substance. But incredibly, many items have reportedly been found in such deposits, either buried inside the coal itself or found buried deep down within coal veins found in mines which have been tunneled out far beneath the Earth's surface. Parts found in coal and stone are some of the strangest of unexplained artifacts. A curious find was brought to light by Mrs. S.W. Culp last Tuesday morning. As she was breaking a lump of coal preparatory to putting it in the scuttle, she discovered, as the lump fell apart, embedded in a circular shape, a small gold chain about 10 inches in length of antique and quaint workmanship, a relic of a bygone age. A few days ago, a powerful blast was made in the rock at Meeting House Hill in Dorchester, a few rods south of Rev. Mr. Hall's meeting house. The blast threw out an immense mass of rock, some of the pieces weighing several tons, and scattered fragments in all directions. Among them was picked up a metallic vessel in two parts, rent asunder by the explosion. On putting the two parts together, it formed a bell-shaped vessel. On the other side, there are 6 figures of a flower, or a bouquet, beautifully inlaid with pure silver, and around the lower part of the vessel a vine, or wreath, also inlaid with silver. This curious and unknown was blown out of the solid pudding stone, 15 feet below the surface. The matter is worthy of investigation, as there is no deception in the case. In June of 1934, members of the Hahn family discovered a rock sitting loose on a rock ledge beside a waterfall outside London, Texas. The site primarily consists of Cretaceous rock, 75 to 100 million years old. Noticing that this weathered rock had wood protruding from it, they cracked it open, exposing the hammerhead. To verify that the hammer was made of metal, they cut into one of the beveled sides with a file. The bright metal in the nick is still there, with no detectable corrosion. The unusual metallurgy is 96% iron, 2.6% chlorine, and 0.74% sulfur, no carbon. Density tests indicate casting exceptional quality. The density of the iron in a central cross-sectional plane shows the interior metal to be very pure, with no bubbles. Modern industry cannot consistently produce iron castings with this quality, as evidenced by test results that show bubbles and density variations that have caused pump and valve bodies to break. The handle eye is partially coeliped with quartz and calcite crystalline inclusions, oval-shaped, and roughly 1x1 tile. How is it that a hammer, made from a metal purer than any metal smelting techniques used in modern industry, could be found in a piece of Cretaceous rock from 75-100 million years old? It was not. This artifact was a part of our past time before the flood. The Yonaguni Monument is Japan's Atlantis. Steeped in mystery and controversy off the coast of the Ryukyu Islands, there lie strangely even shapes that some scientists believe can only be man-made and point to an ancient civilization submerged some 10,000 years ago. A pyramid-shaped structure, an arch, staircases, and other shapes, complete with markings that could be ancient script, have reportedly been identified, all hinting to a lost underwater civilization. Puts this city right around the flood. Thonis Heraklion and Alexandria Thonis Heraklion rests a little farther off today's Alexandria. Both are spectacularly well preserved, considering the ruins are more than 2,000 years old, and littered with various shipwrecks, dropped anchors, even lost and found gold treasures. Canals once separated temples and buildings of Thonis Heraklion, not unlike Venice. but how and why exactly the city became submerged is still a mystery, but still could be part of past before the flood. The 32,000-year-old underwater city of Dwarka, or Gateway to Heaven, was discovered submerged some 100 feet below the Gulf of Cambay in 1988. Ancient structures, pillars, grids of a city, and ancient artifacts were found. Steeped in mystery, some believe them to be at least 10,000 years old. Others say they could be 5,000 years of age, put this right around the flood. So many underwater complexes alleged to be the oldest, but this one seems to have a definite claim to the title. This Neolithic settlement, thought to be around 8,000 years old, is off the coast of Israel in the Mediterranean Sea. Discovered in 1984 in 30 feet deep water, there are buildings, graves, and even the odd skeleton. But the most amazing find must be the 7 megaliths arranged in a circle, like an underwater Stonehenge. It is believed that an earthquake and subsequent tsunami resulted in the settlement and ancient civilization becoming submerged. Archaeologists find 12,000-year-old pictograph at Göbekli Tepe excavations being conducted at the ancient city of Göbekli Tepe in Turkey have uncovered an ancient pictograph on an obelisk which researchers say could be the earliest known pictograph ever discovered. Each of the 20 structures consists of a ring of walls surrounding 2 T-shaped monumental pillars between 3 meters, 9 feet, and 6 meters high, 19 feet, and weighing between 40 and 60 tons. Believed to have been inhabited 9,000 years ago, the site has yielded thousands of tools and ornaments, including arrowheads, figurines, and jewelry. The discovery was made near the Israeli town of Moza, about 3 miles west of Jerusalem. Ancient metropolis that predates Stonehenge and the pyramids of ancient Egypt, Sacsayhuaman. Hard to believe this is a 15th century construction that could be rediscovered and restored by the people who found it in the 15th century. First, we were told that the first human civilizations were Mesopotamia and Egypt circa 3000 BCE. Then we found out about Göbekli Tepe, stretching the timeline back to 10,000 BCE. And now, a new paper in Nature suggests that humans have been coming together in large numbers for a lot longer, but not in the now arid regions of the Middle East. Instead, say researchers, archaeological evidence now demonstrates that humans settled tropical forest regions on previously unimagined scales. The mystery of Puma Punku's precise stonework. Puma Punku is the name of a large temple complex located near Tiwanaku in Bolivia, and is part of a larger archaeological site known as Tiahuanacu. The temple's origin is a mystery, but based on carbon dating of organic material found on site, archaeologists believe the complex well beyond a pre-Stone Age people. I could supply so much more information on this topic, but this should draw you in to further review our world around us and what destroyed the past world by a flood, pagan god worship, and pure evil. Until next post, shalom.